हाय एवरीवन, वेलकम बैक। आई एम सी ए हेमंत गुप्ता। एग्जामिशन लाना अपने आप में बहुत बड़ी बात होती है एंड एग्जामिशन यदि डायरेक्ट टेक्स्ट पेपर में आ जाए तो बात ही अलग है। सो आज का सेशन बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होने वाला है बिकॉज joining me today is CA Aditya Tandon from Chandigarh. He scored 65 marks in his CA Inter and 50 marks in CA Final Direct Text Paper. सो विदाउट डिले जानते हैं आदित्य से उन्होंने क्या स्ट्रेटेजी फॉलो की, उनके 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 क्या टिप्स रहे एंड क्या मिस्टेक्स उन्होंने की जो हमें नहीं करनी है। सो विदाउट डिले लेट्स जंप इनटू द डिस्कशन विद आदित्य। Hi Aditya, I welcome you here. So let's start with a brief introduction. Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you firstly for this opportunity. I'm really honored that you have given me such an opportunity. So, hello everyone. My name is CA Aditya Tandon, and I have just recently qualified my chartered accountancy course in the very first attempt in May 25 with both groups. And talking about the taxation subject, I have scored an exemption at my intermediate level by scoring 65 marks in November 21 attempt, and in CA final May 25 I have scored around 50 marks in my direct taxation paper.
Perfect, perfect. So you got 65 marks in CA Inter. That's commendable. So let's start with some of the students' queries and questions. What difference you find between CA Inter and CA final level, the depth of the knowledge and depth of the syllabus. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, firstly, if we talk about CA intermediate, so tax was just a very new subject for us because it was not in CA foundation. So as we come from a CA foundation of a 20 year or a 19 years student to we are discussing and being introduced by a new subject, that is taxation. So we are very new, we don't know even what is a person in that.
True.
So for that it was firstly a very good challenge for all of us or all of the CA intermediate students to understand the concept of tax. Then, if we talk about CA intermediate syllabus, it was at my level in November 21. It was combined direct taxation as well as indirect taxation. It was 60 marks DT and 40 marks IDT. So it was around 26 chapter, 27 chapters that we have to cover in our CA intermediate. And it was really basic. There where we have to what is tax and what are the levels, what are the income heads, and it was very basic. Comparing it with the CA final syllabus has been divided into two parts, that is domestic as well as international, but according to me it should be divided into three parts, that is the domestic taxation, then the assessment procedure DRPs and
Right.
all about the fines and penalties, and third one is the
International.
international taxation. So the horizon of syllabus and the particular domain that we are studying in CA final gets broadened. Like if we say CA intermediate is level 1, so in CA final what we have studied in CA intermediate, we read it with a very broad horizon with very much case laws and
Right.
very different aspects. So there is a
True.
particular difference between CA intermediate and CA final level.
True, true, true. So, if we start about preparation, so for the CA inter and CA final, did you focus more on the first of all, in the initial phase, you focused on the conceptual understanding instead of getting more into the practical questions and answers. So, what you advise to students they should focus on the conceptual understanding. They should build their foundation first.
Yeah. So if we start with CA intermediate. So firstly, I will just share my strategy that how I tackled stacks from the very first till the very end. Firstly, I just focused on the basic knowledge about the concepts, that what is tax, what is indirect tax, and how it is being done, how it was introduced, and how it is being levied in our country. So from the very basic, I just started to make notes. If I have a book of any of one faculty, if they are writing something on their notepad, or I will write it on my notebook, so I will accordingly make notes about it. And you will not believe that even on the exam day I didn't open my book, I was just referring my notes. So
No.
it was like if we make notes with the class, that what the faculty, what the respected faculty is writing on the board or on their respective notepads, we have to write it on our notebook. So it was like a short handbook that we have made by our own of that particular taxation subject. And if we talk about intermediate, so you have to be well versed knowledge of both direct taxation and indirect taxation, that you
Right.
have to
Right.
tackle in that 3 hours time. So by keeping it very short, in CA intermediate you have to make very good notes as to build your foundation about taxation, because you are very new to that subject.
True.
At CA final, you are just like you have a particular idea about taxation from CA intermediate, and after that you have to build much better notes in CA final, because the syllabus is really broad about the domestic taxation, the assessment procedure, and international taxation. You have to divide all the three domains. Around 40 to 42 chapters are there in direct taxation, where you have to make proper notes. So I also made note at direct taxation final level from the faculty that from which I have studied. So I have made proper two registers, one of domestic and one of international taxation, with all the concepts and after the practical problems. So it
True.
just really helped me to clear that.
Definitely, those notes will help you in the, and in the end time, in the day before exam, basically.
Yeah,
So
in that 1.5 days.
right, 1.5 days. So you must have got some leaves for the exams, right, in the CA final. So I think syllabus should have been completed before that exam leaves. So I think students should complete entire syllabus once before they go to
Yes.
leaves. I think that is advisable, right? And in the now coming to revision portion. So since we get the exam leaves approx 4 to 5 months in general. So how was your strategy, and how did you revise? How did you plan to revise the entire direct text along with other subjects?
So if I talk about particularly about CA final, because for that we got a particular leave in
Right,
our articleship journey. So if we have 4 months, so firstly we have to ensure that we are completed with all the classes with the amendments,
with the
because
amendment.
there are certain amendments in direct taxation as well in the indirect taxation in every attempt. And secondly, if we have 4 months, it means that we have 120 days. So we will I was having 120 days with me when I was having my May 25 attempt. So I just basically divided into two parts, that is 100 plus 20 days. That if I have 120 days, so there will be, obviously there will be 20 non-productive days, because in which I will not be able to complete my plan, or I will not be able to like I'm not able to study much. So I just eliminated those 20 days and make a schedule of those 100 days. And in that, I just divided those 100 days into 50, 30, and 20. Or we can say 40, 30, 30. So I just planned my three revisions of R1, revision 1, then revision 2, and revision 3. And we are having six subjects in right now in our CA final.
Right, right.
So I have divided those 40 days by giving each and every subject 7 days. So
7 days.
7 into 5, 35 days, and last 5 days for IBS. Or if any of the schedule gets postponed,
Postponed,
like
right,
in DT we are having 40 chapters. If it is not completed in 7 days, so it will take 8 days or 9 days. That is why first revision takes 40 to 45 days, because if we are taking up a particular concept, after that it's a particular question. So after that I also marked in every as we are having I was having a particular PDF of all the important questions from the faculty from which I have been taught from. So I just mark those questions, and I just write on the left or the right side of that particular question that what mistake did I make in my revision 1, so that I don't have to make in that revision number 2.
right.
So that efficiency just helped me to complete my revision number 1. Then revision number 2, it should be completed within 30 days by giving 6 days to every subject,
6
6
days
into
left.
5. And in revision number 2, don't prepare much for IBS, because as if you studied it for the other 5 subject, you will automatically got prepared for the IBS paper for paper number 6. And then the last time of those 30 to 35 days, you have to give mock test along with your paper
Revision.
presentation
Yeah.
paper. So this kind of 100 plus 20 days, we will be able to revise all the subjects 3 times, that IBS paper 2 times, and we will also be able to give our mock test. So this
That,
was my strategy that
yeah.
I tried to clear my May 25 attempt in
And,
first. In
and
first,
that was
yes,
successful too, right? That was
yeah,
successful too.
absolutely,
Perfect.
yeah,
I love this strategy, dividing the days, and making the syllabus in the alignment, and at least completing three revisions is, it was a good strategy. So we should target the 3 to 4 revisions. And so along with that revision, you attempted mock tests, right? So what is the
yes.
importance of mock? Did you, like, it was helpful in the exams, particularly for a chapter, for a specific kind of syllabus area, or in entirety you got some hands-on experience of live exam before the real exam?
So I will not talk about of any of the particular websites which are giving us the mock test or mock series, because there are n number of websites that give us mock test at a very lucrative prices. But I will just suggest our ICI gives us revision test paper and mock test paper two times of two series. If we prepare that, we just get a particular environment of exam, because I will take that thing in a, as a point of that I am sitting an exam. And particularly I attempted those mock tests between the time period of 2 to 5, because our paper is from 2 to 5, and that is a period that generally individuals are having their lunch, and after that they are just find themselves sleepy. So
Right.
it's good if we attempt that mock test in those 3 hours paper between 2 to 5, from which we can get that at that particular time period what is our attention level, what is our thinking level, and how we can write the answer, and how speedily we can write the answer. So
Perfect.
it just helps, those mock tests just help us that how I can utilize my those 15 minutes of reading time between 1:45 to 2 p.m. And after that how can attempt those questions, and what type of questions that I can leave in those 3 hours. So mock test will just help us to
Right.
manage our time.
So perfect, because some of the students, including me, what I did, like we attempted the mocks, but not in the particular, in the required manner. So we just on the rough book, we just took the question and drafted the answer in the rough manner. So that kind of, I think we should avoid, and we should try to complete our mock in the proper environment, proper
Yes.
exam based pattern, so that we are comfortable on the exam day. To next. Once we get the 1.5 day for the exam, so that's the hectic and that's the toughest part for student to cope up, and and this revision will decide his fate in the exam only. So what's your take on this?
So according to me, that it's true that it is the toughest part for every student, even if it hasn't done two or three divisions. It is really difficult to manage those 1.5. It is the particularly this is the game that we have to win about that
Yeah.
1.5 days. So I will just share my quickly just share my strategy for that. It was like in the last revision, you just have to be very specific about certain topics that you will have to do, that will definitely come into exam. So for the final day, you just have to flip the pages of the books for that. And secondly, what I did was, in certain papers like audit, direct taxation, indirect taxation, in which there is a huge syllabus that you have to cover in those 1.5 days, I just did qualitative study by just reviewing the percentage of marks of certain chapters that will definitely come in that particular exam, by giving a particular example of professional ethics in audit that will definitely come for 20 to 25 marks in our audit paper in every attempt. So by doing that particular qualitative study, you can just take a broader view of the whole syllabus of those 100 marks or those 80 marks or those 90 marks paper. So for which you can target around 60 to 70 marks, by
Right.
which you can just score a particular exemption. So
Right.
the main is you have to do a qualitative study in those 1.5 days, by which you can cover the entire syllabus on a broad view.
So, if I summarize this answer, so I think students should avoid reading the new concepts on that day first.
Absolutely.
Second, they should focus and they should strengthen their strength. The concept they are strong and they are expected that this will be there in the exam based on the past paper
Yes.
analysis, based on the RTP mock texts. So they should basically focus on those areas which they have studied in the previous revision one, revision two, revision three, instead of getting
Absolutely.
into the new troubles and new chapters. So yeah, that's advisable. Coming to last question, what things didn't work for you? What things you could have done better?
So it was like, if we start with those revisions, firstly, it was like when I was doing my second revision, I was not able to complete my audit in 6 days. So it needs 7 to 8 days because the syllabus is too wide. So in my third revision, I accepted my mistake that giving 6 days to audit was not right in the second revision only. So in the third revision, I give it to around 7 days or 7.5 days, so that I would be able to cover it fastly. Second thing, which was not ever not able to do in my revision number one, that I was not able to do that much practical questions in direct taxation in my revision first. I
Okay.
was just focusing on conceptual questions, but after that, when I just jumped on the mock test or the revision test, I was able to see that they were more practical or case based questions rather than conceptual questions. So For that, in my revision number 2, I just because I was having my conceptual backing with me, so I was able to do much more questions in revision number 2 rather than of the concepts. So it was like, there were certain things which I noticed during my revisions, and for that, each student has its own its own mistakes. So
Right.
he or she has to accept those mistakes, and for that, uh, take certain steps in their revision number 2 and revision number 3, and for that they will just clear the
Right.
exam.
Right. So,
Yes.
wonderful, wonderful. So, if we conclude this and I ask you, some key 3 points, or the key 3 points that you should advise. Yeah,
So it firstly is the time management. So that you have to divide each and every subject. You have to respect each and every subject. You cannot take any subject lightly. Like IDT has a small syllabus, so you will just write up in 4 days. It is not like that. You have to respect each subject, give each and every subject equal time and cover that thing. Number 2 is that take your revisions very seriously. If you are planning a particular day for a mock test, if you are planning a particular time for that particular mock test, you have to stick to that, because it at the last day, it is a promise, it is a preparation that you are doing it for yourself. Everyone says that we are doing it, it is for our family, it is for the relatives, it is for the society, but at the end you are doing it for yourself. You will be a CA. The CA
right,
prefix will be before your name, not anyone other's name. So it
right,
is your preparation, your career, your professional career. And lastly, that you have to be very punctual with in your articleship also. You have to be very punctual
right,
with the principal also, in the work also, and after that you have to plan, make a particular plan, stick to that particular plan, stay time focused, stay mentally focused, and after that maintain a healthy diet too, because
true,
students just focus on the study. They are studying for 11 to 13 hours, 15 hours or 17 hours. I also did too, but at the main exam time, they feel ill, or they are stick to any of the fever or any other viral. So it is really disheartening.
right.
So they have to
So,
stick with a proper diet, proper exercise, proper study plan, and with a very particular time management.
yeah, thank you so much, Aditya, for taking out your time, and
Yes.
it will be definitely helpful for the students once they listen this. So, thank you so much. Thank you so much again. Yeah,
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
thank you. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Have a great day. Bye.